They stormed into his basement without a warrant, smug grins plastered across their faces. But when the wall crumbled, revealing a hidden steel door, their confidence evaporated. Inside, military-grade weapons. "You're done," one barked, oblivious to the storm they'd unleashed. What happened next would turn everything upside down. It began with a tremor, a low, unnatural vibration that shook the coffee mug in my hand. At first, I chalked it up to a passing truck or nearby construction. But the shaking didn't stop. It intensified, rattling my walls, trembling the floor beneath me. Then I heard the relentless pounding of a jackhammer, coming from below my house. My blood froze, my basement. I leapt from the kitchen table, heart pounding, and sprinted to the basement door. My mind raced. Had someone broken in? Or was it something worse? I lived alone. No one should be down there. Bursting through the door, I took the rickety steps 2 at a time, nearly stumbling in my panic. As I rounded the corner, my jaw dropped. 3 men in dark uniforms, HOA patches on their sleeves, stood in my basement. 2 wielded a jackhammer, smashing it into the far concrete wall. Dust choked the air, mixing with the stench of sweat and pulverized stone. Broken concrete littered the floor like shattered bones. "What the hell is this?" I roared, my voice bouncing off the walls. The closest man, a tall guy with slicked-back brown hair and a cocky smirk, turned to me. His name tag read Carson. He looked unfazed, almost amused, as if he wasn't tearing apart my home. "Routine HOA inspection," he said coolly, hands behind his back. "We got a complaint about structural issues." "A complaint from who?" I snapped. He shrugged. "Anonymous." My fists clenched. "An anonymous tip gives you the right to break into my house and destroy my basement?" Carson's smirk widened. "HOA has broad authority under the charter. We can investigate any potential violations. This isn't a violation, it's vandalism." I took a step forward, but another officer, a burly man with a shaved head named Holt, blocked me, his hand hovering near a set of zip ties on his belt. "Back off," Holt growled. My heart thundered. "Get out of my house." Then the jackhammer struck something odd, a hollow, metallic clang. Carson's eyes narrowed. "Hold up," he ordered. The 2 men stopped, revealing a jagged crack in the concrete. Beneath it, a reinforced steel door. Carson's smirk faded. He brushed dust off the metal, his eyes glinting with suspicion. "What's this?" "Don't touch it," I snapped, stepping forward. Carson shot me a dark look. "We've got probable cause now." "No, you don't." He ignored me, motioning to Holt. "Pry it open." Holt jammed a crowbar into the crack. The door groaned, but held. "It's not budging," he grunted. Carson turned to me, his smile sharp. "Open it." I crossed my arms. "No." "You will." Carson sneered, as Holt pulled out a collapsible baton. "You gonna beat me into it?" I growled. "We don't need to," Carson said. "We're the HOA. We can fine you, evict you, or call the cops. You know how that'll look." My blood boiled. "This isn't legal." Carson chuckled. "Since when does that matter?" The third officer, a younger guy named Riley with nervous eyes, hesitated. "Sir, maybe we should." "Shut up," Carson barked. "Open it." Riley swallowed, wedging the crowbar back in. The steel groaned louder, but held. Carson's smile vanished, his eyes darkening. "You can make this easy," he said to me, "or painful." I held his gaze. "Get out." Carson pulled zip ties from his belt. "Hands behind your back." "You're making a mistake," I said, stepping back. "We'll see," Carson sneered. Holt and Riley grabbed my arms, yanking them behind me. The zip ties bit into my wrists. "You'll regret this," I muttered. Carson leaned close, his breath hot. "Doubt it." The grinding of metal on concrete filled the basement as they attacked the door again. My heart raced. If they opened it, they'd uncover something they couldn't handle, and Carson would wish he'd never stepped foot in my house. Riley, sweating, jammed the crowbar deeper. With a tortured screech, the door shifted. "That's it." Carson stepped forward. "Keep going." Holt joined in, and the door swung open, revealing darkness. Cold air spilled out. Carson clicked on a flashlight, its beam cutting through the void. "Let's see what he's hiding." "No," I shouted, struggling against the ties. Carson ignored me, stepping inside. The others followed, Riley hesitating at the threshold. The flashlight swept the walls, revealing rows of matte black racks. assault rifles, tactical shotguns, grenade launchers. Black cases marked explosives lined the floor. "Oh shit," Holt whispered, eyes wide. Riley stumbled back. "What the hell?" Carson's beam lingered on a rack of AR-15s. His mouth twisted into a greedy smile. Well. He turned to me. "Got ourselves an arms dealer." "It's not what you think," I said, voice steady. "Oh, it's exactly what I think." Carson dialed his phone. HOA Unit 12, confirmed 1032, military-grade weapons cache. Send backup. Holt examined a case, frowning at its military code. "This is serious." "No kidding," Carson said. He stepped closer to me. "Care to explain how a suburban nobody has enough firepower to start a war?" "Those weapons are secured under a federal contract," I said. Carson's smile didn't waver. "Yeah? And what's a homeowner doing with a federal arsenal?" "You don't understand what you've stumbled into." Carson leaned in, his breath on my ear. "No, you don't understand. You're going away for life." Holt cuffed me roughly, the steel biting deeper. "You're making a mistake," I said. Carson laughed. "I'm okay with that." Holt lifted a case. "Sir, these are military-grade explosives. We need the feds." "We're not calling anyone," Carson snapped. "This is our caller." My blood ran cold. "You have no idea what you're messing with." Carson grinned. "Then tell us." I stared him down. "You're out of your depth." Holt's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, paling. "Sir, it's the FBI." Carson's smile faltered. "What?" Riley's phone rang, too. "Sir, mine too." "Ignore it," Carson ordered. "They won't stop," I said calmly. "You've interfered with a federal operation." Carson's head snapped toward me. "What are you talking about?" I smiled thinly. "You've made a big mistake." Carson paced my living room, where they dragged me, cuffed, and dumped me in a chair. My wrists burned, but I kept my face stone cold. Carson's eyes gleamed with manic triumph, oblivious to the disaster he'd ignited. He stopped, crouching before me. "Tell us where you got that arsenal." I stayed silent. Carson chuckled. "Illegal firearms, explosives, grenade launchers, that's federal time. 20, 30 years. Cooperate, and maybe I'll help. You broke into my house, destroyed my property, and now you want my help." I scoffed. Carson's smile sharpened. "You'll help, or I'll make sure you rot in a cell." "You have no idea what you've stepped into," I said softly. His smile flickered. Big talk from a guy in cuffs. He motioned to Holt. "Tear this place apart." Holt hesitated, but soon drawers were yanked open, books tossed, and my desk overturned. Carson picked up a framed photo of me in uniform, tossing it to the floor. Glass shattered. "Military, huh?" he said. "Should have covered your tracks." Riley opened a closet, freezing. "Sir." He held a tactical vest marked FBI. Carson's smile vanished. Holt opened another closet, more gear, all federally tagged. "Sir, this is—" "It's stolen," Carson snapped. "No," I said calmly. "It's not." Carson's face darkened. He grabbed my shirt, yanking me forward. "Start talking." I stared back. "You're done." Holt's phone buzzed again. "It's the FBI." "Ignore it," Carson shouted. The front door exploded open. A tall man in a black suit stepped in, badge on his belt. "FBI," he said coldly. "Step away from the suspect." Carson froze, loosening his grip. "We found evidence." "Step away," the agent cut in. Carson stammered. "We were acting under HOA authority." "You have no jurisdiction here," the agent snapped. He unlocked my cuffs. I rubbed my wrists, glaring at Carson. The agent turned to him. "Do you know what you've done?" Carson's mouth opened, but nothing came out. "I tried to warn you," I said calmly. The agent radioed. "Control, this is Agent Kane. We've got a situation." Carson's face drained of color. He'd just made the biggest mistake of his life. "He's been working with us for years," Agent Kane said, glaring at Carson. "That arsenal is part of a classified sting. You compromised it." Carson stammered. "We didn't know." "Because you had no jurisdiction," Kane growled. "This is a federal crime now." I stepped toward Carson, rage simmering. "You humiliated me, cuffed me, trashed my house, all to flex your HOA power." Carson's voice shook. "We thought." "You thought wrong," I snapped, inches from his sweating face. Kane listed charges: destruction of property, unlawful entry, federal interference. "At minimum, obstruction, and trespass. Carson's defiance flared. This is entrapment. It was classified, Kane said. You weren't supposed to know. I laughed bitterly. You kicked down my door, tore up my basement, and call that protection? Carson sneered. You think you're untouchable with the feds? No, I said coldly. You blew a federal op because you got cocky. Kane stepped in. We're done here. Carson's fists trembled. This isn't over. Oh, it is, I said, smiling thinly. Kane's men cuffed Carson and his crew. Carson thrashed, shouting, "This is bullshit," as they dragged him out. His eyes locked on mine. You son of a bitch. Careful, I said. You're not in charge anymore. On my lawn, red and blue lights flashed as agents secured the scene. Carson, zip-tied, glared at me. Kane listed their crimes. Unlawful entry, destruction of property, federal interference. This'll haunt you for years. Carson snapped. We had probable cause. Did you have a warrant? Kane asked. Carson's mouth twisted. We don't need one under HOA rules. This was a federal sting, Kane said. You're not law enforcement. You're an HOA. I stepped closer. You didn't bother to ask. Carson's eyes burned. You think this is over? It is for you, I said. The SUVs roared off, Carson's pale face vanishing behind tinted glass. Kane turned to me. You okay? I will be, I said, rubbing my wrists. You knew they were coming, Kane said. I smiled faintly. Let's say I had a feeling. Kane's eyes narrowed. And you let them dig? They made it easy, I said. A week later, an HOA letter arrived, full of apologies and promises of new policies. I crumpled it and tossed it. The damage was done, my basement wall cracked, furniture broken, glass swept away. But the feds had cleared the arsenal, and Carson's career was ash. The HOA board scrambled to save face, but they'd never try this again. Standing on my porch, I watched the sunset, the sky streaked with orange and purple. The weight on my chest was gone. No more HOA patrols, no more threats. Carson thought he was untouchable. He wasn't. My house was mine, and no one would take it. What do you think? Was Carson's arrogance his downfall, or did I play too dirty, letting him dig his own grave? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate who crossed the line. Smash that like button and subscribe for more wild stories.